What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. I apologize in advance if the audio on this video isn't up to par. I'm actually on the road right now. I've got my first band rehearsal this week, so I'm doing this and live from my hotel room for the rest of the week. In the meantime, Marvel Studios has already fielded a ton of huge names as it pertains to the casting for the Fantastic Four. And even though it might not feel like it, guys, it's almost been 3 weeks since we've talked about this. 20 days since I did a Fantastic Four casting video at the channel. Shocker, I know. Now, you may have heard some names over the weekend, even a fellow YouTuber weighing in about Margot Robbie. We're going to get to those, but the biggest name reveal, the biggest reveal and reported over the weekend was Emma Stone offered the role of Sue Storm. And it's not that she was offered the role that's shocking or even really a surprise. She's a huge actress and would be a great Sue Storm. It's why she turned it down that I think is quite revealing, not only about maybe where she's at, but where Marvel Studios is at as well with casting this team. Of course, as you might have guessed, and unfortunately seems to always be the topic when Disney or Marvel Studios comes up recently, it has to do with money. We're breaking down the latest Emma Stone offer, what's going on with Margot Robbie, and even some other names dropped as they pertain to casting for the Fantastic Four like The Thing. But first, I want to tell you about my friends over at comicbookdirect.com. They are a brand new website that's really putting the ease of buying comic books all in one place. You can go there and get the one-offs you need. They work with all the major distributors, including Marvel. But the major feature, and especially for me, is that if you're in the middle of a run, you can go ahead and subscribe and get those books delivered to you weekly, which makes it easier than ever, especially in the modern day of Marvel, to keep up with these stories. You can go ahead and pay in advance, get a bigger discount, or just pay as you go. And if you act now, for the next 100 people who sign up below, you're going to get 20% off. That link is down in the description. Again, that's comicbookdirect.com, the easiest place to get everything from figures, mangas, collectibles, and especially the comics you want. Okay, so the scoop actually originates with the industry insider Jeff Snyder, who's been rather ubiquitous as of late with his Marvel intel, and especially on the Hot Mic podcast, as re-reported by CBR.com. Quote, Scooper Jeff Snyder appeared on the Hot Mic podcast discussing what he had heard about the Fantastic Four project. He claimed that the film would place the Invisible Woman front and center and reported that Emma Stone had been in negotiations to play the character. Quote, for 72 hours, Emma Stone was looking like Sue Storm. Stone asked for a salary of $20 million for the role, which Marvel Studios was reportedly unwilling to pay. Now, they go on to mention that the report Snyder referenced regarding Sue Storm's central role in the film came from pundit Justin Kroll, who previously claimed that the Invisible Woman would be the focus, at least when it comes to casting. Since then, a number of rumors have continued to circulate suggesting actors including Margot Robbie and earlier on, Free Guy star Jodie Comer. Now, as it pertains to Margot Robbie, she was one of the biggest names to break in the last couple of weeks, but as I mentioned during the prologue, it's been 3 weeks since we've talked about this, and there have been no updates. Now, while obviously Marvel Studios wants to hold this until the San Diego Comic-Con announcement or the following D23, we assume the trades are going to get to it, but still no movement on this, while Adam Driver has seemingly been confirmed. Fellow YouTuber Grace Randolph just 2 days ago, and as I mentioned during the prologue, tweeted out that she had heard Margot Robbie was not a lock for Sue Storm, and as we see here, it appears as though Marvel Studios may be extending some of these offers and quietly, because we had not heard a single word of Emma Stone up until now. Now, since we're on the topic, and if you're wondering how that request stacks up against other Marvel actors, $20 million, first of all, she means specifically per film. She wants $20 million to play Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four film, and then it would presumably stay the same, or maybe even go up from there as we approach things like Secret Wars. And again, if the pundits are right here, then she would be a main part of the film, which would justify leading actor money. But that stacks up to some of the highest paydays in Marvel we've ever seen. For instance, Chris Hemsworth got $20 million for Thor Love and Thunder, but Chris Evans only got $15 million for Avengers Endgame. Mark Ruffalo got the same in $15 million, so did Jeremy Renner. Scarlett Johansson, however, made $20 million for her role in Black Widow, so that is sort of the mark by, I guess, which she requested $20 million. It's not some random number. She's literally going by another lead actress in a film, especially if she's going to be front and center, putting her on par with Scarlett Johansson, which I do not think is an unreasonable request at all. Also, just to mention, Robert Downey Jr. made $75 million for Avengers Endgame. Now, Marvel not being willing to pay that, though, does sort of make me scratch my head. Yeah, I mean, Scarlett Johansson spent much more time in the MCU, so establishing Black Widow as a character maybe makes sense for the spend, but Emma Stone spent just as much time in the Marvel Universe, obviously, as Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Man movies. She's a known commodity and would be a huge name. again, assuming all of this is correct, I'm very curious why Marvel wouldn't pay that, or where we're really splitting hairs at. What is it, 15 million and they didn't want to go to 20, or 10 million and they didn't want to go to 15. But to be fair, if it's starting at 20 million, it will only go up or stay the same from there, and maybe they want to start smaller before they do get to Avengers Secret Wars, so they don't end up paying Emma Stone, I don't know, $100 million over the next 4 or 5 years. Marvel Studios obviously is scaling back in multiple directions, but I think there's got to be sort of a give and take, and I guess the writer's strike here is what's the prelude to perhaps a director and even actor strike, where they need a bigger share of the revenue. And for me, even though they put a ton of money into pre-production and there's so many moving parts and people that are involved with making a film, and it's really an industry and supports a lot of people, that would probably say the actors are paid enough, why don't you have that trickle down to someone else, which I totally agree. I also don't think there's a problem in entertainment, the same with sports, when someone's asking for their money when they're putting themselves on par with another talent. Basically, if Marvel was willing to pay Scarlett Johansson $20 million for Black Widow, if the Invisible Woman is front and center for the Fantastic Four film, I do not think that's an unreasonable ask at all for her to try to get that for her the film. I think it's just fair. Would have loved Emma Stone as Sue Storm. It's kind of sad to hear this didn't work out. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. If it's not Sue Storm and it's not Margot Robbie, who do you got for the Fantastic Four or any of the other teams? Quickly, I will mention that David Diggs has been brought up as being in the contention for the Thing, but we've only heard that for one source, and it's not sort of on the same level as confirmed as some of the others. But I'm all ears, as always. Let me know who you got for the team down below. And remember, as soon as an outlet like The Hollywood Reporter or Deadline drop these names, we will bring you the coverage here at the channel. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. We just gave one away for Guardians, and there is another show right around the corner in Secret Invasion that drops on the 20th of next month, or the 21st, one of those 2 days. Either way, if you want to be entered to win, or for any of the giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name AllFires. Guys, please remember to stay safe on my channel and any other channel. I feel like the spam comments have resurged as of late. Anybody can take anybody's photo and say that they're a content creator and that you've won a prize. Never ever give your information out, especially on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. I will never ask you to contact me there. I will never charge you for shipping, nor will any other YouTuber I know. So be safe, be vigilant. If you get a comment like that on my channel or anybody else's, just report it to YouTube and they will suspend that account. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.